A story about a shark called Sharky and his adventures in the ocean. Chapter 1. The Bright Blue Ocean. In the deep blue ocean, far away from the sandy shores, lived a friendly little shark named Sharky. Sharky wasn't like most sharks. He didn't spend his days chasing after fish or swimming fast just for fun. No, Sharky had a different passion: teeth. He loved his teeth, and he wanted everyone in the ocean to have clean, healthy teeth too. Every morning, Sharky would wake up in his cozy coral cave and brush his teeth with his special seaweed toothbrush. His toothbrush was bright green and extra long, perfect for reaching all of his sharp teeth. After brushing, Sharky would swim out of his cave, smiling wide and showing off his sparkling white teeth to all his friends. "Good morning, Mr. Turtle," Sharky called as he swam past a sleepy sea turtle. "Did you remember to brush your teeth today?" Mr. Turtle smiled slowly and nodded. "Of course, Sharky. I never forget, thanks to you." Sharky grinned and swam on. He loved helping his friends keep their teeth clean. It made him feel like a real superhero. Whenever someone had a toothache, Sharky was always there with his special toothbrush and a bit of advice on how to take care of their teeth. Sharky's best friends were Miss Octopus, who had 8 long, wiggly arms, and a small, playful fish named Finny. The three of them would swim through the coral reefs, playing hide-and-seek among the colorful sea plants and racing through the bubbles. But one day, something strange happened. As Sharky swam through the ocean, he noticed that the water didn't taste as fresh as it usually did. In fact, it tasted a little sugary. Sharky stopped swimming and looked around. The coral reef seemed different too. The bright colors were still there, but everything looked a bit sticky, like it had been covered in a layer of syrup. "What's going on?" Sharky wondered aloud. He swam over to Miss Octopus, who was busy twirling her arms through the water. "Do you taste something strange in the water, Miss Octopus?" Miss Octopus stopped twirling and gave the water a taste. She said, frowning. "It does taste a little sweet. That's not normal, is it?" Sharky shook his head. "No, it's not. I think something is wrong." Just then, Finny the fish swam up to them, his fins flapping in a panic. "Sharky, Miss Octopus, you have to come quickly. There's something strange happening in the ocean." Without another word, Sharky and Miss Octopus followed Finny through the coral reef. As they swam, the water grew stickier and sweeter, and soon they saw what was causing the problem. All around them, sugary treats were floating in the water. Candy, chocolate, and sticky syrupy things that didn't belong in the ocean at all. Chapter 2. The Sugary Invasion. As Sharky, Miss Octopus, and Finny swam through the sticky, sugary water, they noticed how the once vibrant coral reefs were now covered in a thick layer of sweet goo. The normally clear blue ocean was turning a dull, syrupy brown, and the usually lively sea creatures were now sluggish and unhappy. "This is awful," said Sharky, his voice filled with concern. "We need to figure out where all this sugar is coming from and stop it before it gets worse." Finny swam in tight circles, clearly agitated. "I overheard some of the older fish talking about a strange new creature they saw near the dark, scary part of the ocean. They said it was causing all sorts of trouble." Miss Octopus, her 8 arms twitching with anxiety, added, "I've heard stories about a villain who loves sweets and hates clean teeth. They call him the Cavity King." "The Cavity King?" Sharky said, his eyes widening. "I've heard of him before. He's known for causing dental disasters wherever he goes. If he's behind this, we need to stop him immediately." Determined to solve the mystery, Sharky rallied his friends. "We need to go to the dark part of the ocean and find the Cavity King's lair. It's the only way to stop this sugary mess." With a plan in mind, Sharky, Miss Octopus, and Finny set off towards the darker, deeper part of the ocean. As they swam, they noticed that the sugary treats were starting to have a noticeable effect on the sea creatures. The fish swam slowly, their scales dulled by the sticky syrup. The once bright coral was now weighed down by the heavy goo, and even the seaweed seemed to be wilting. "We need to hurry," Sharky said, his voice firm. "The longer we wait, the worse it's going to get." The journey through the dark part of the ocean was eerie. The sunlight barely reached the depths, casting long, shadowy shapes on the ocean floor. Strange noises echoed through the water, and the sea creatures here seemed even more sluggish and unhappy. As they ventured further, they encountered a wise old whale named Whaley, who was known for his vast knowledge of the ocean's secrets. Whaley was resting near an underwater cave, his massive body partially obscured by the murky water. "Greetings, Sharky and friends," Whaley said, his deep voice rumbling like thunder. "I've heard of the troubles caused by the Cavity King. You're brave to come this far." Sharky explained their mission, and Whaley nodded thoughtfully. "The Cavity King's lair is hidden within the dark cave up ahead. It's filled with traps and sugary obstacles. You'll need to be careful." Whaley offered his help. "I can guide you through the dangerous parts and offer advice. But remember, the Cavity King is a tricky foe. You'll need to be clever and brave to outwit him." Grateful for Whaley's guidance, Sharky and his friends followed him towards the dark cave. As they approached, they saw the entrance was guarded by a thick, sticky barrier of syrupy goo. It seemed almost impenetrable. "This is going to be tough," said Miss Octopus, her arms ready to help clear the way. Whaley led the group through the cave entrance, and they were immediately met with a sticky obstacle course. The walls of the cave were covered in layers of candy and chocolate, making it difficult to move. The floor was slick with syrup, and every step they took seemed to make more of the goo ooze out from the walls. "Watch your step," Whaley warned. "The Cavity King has set traps to slow you down." Sharky, using his sharp senses and quick thinking, led the group through the treacherous maze. They had to navigate through a series of sticky puddles, dodge hanging candy canes, and avoid getting caught in sticky webs of sugar. Miss Octopus used her arms to clear the way, grabbing sticky candy and pulling it away from their path. Finny darted around, scouting ahead to make sure they were on the right track. Sharky used his special toothbrush to brush away some of the sticky goo, making the path a little easier to navigate. After what felt like hours of maneuvering through the sugary mess, they finally reached a large chamber at the end of the cave. In the center of the chamber was a throne made entirely of chocolate, and sitting on it was the Cavity King himself. The Cavity King was a dark, shadowy figure with a crown made of caramel and a cape of cotton candy. He sneered as Sharky and his friends entered the chamber, his eyes gleaming with mischief. "Welcome, Sharky," the Cavity King said with a wicked grin. "I've been expecting you." Sharky stepped forward, his heart pounding but his resolve strong. "We're here to stop you and clean up the ocean. Your sugary invasion ends now." The Cavity King chuckled, his voice echoing through the chamber. "You think you can defeat me? My sugary traps and sticky goo are unstoppable." But Sharky and his friends were ready. With Whaley's guidance and their own bravery, they prepared to face the Cavity King and restore the ocean to its clean, healthy state. Chapter 3. Sharky's Journey. The large chamber was filled with the overwhelming scent of candy and chocolate. Sharky, Miss Octopus, Finny, and Whaley stared at the Cavity King, who lounged on his throne with an air of arrogance. The sticky floor was covered in a thick layer of goo, making it difficult to move. "You may have made it this far," the Cavity King taunted, "but now you're in my domain. My sugary traps will stop you from reaching me." With a flick of his caramel crown, the Cavity King summoned a swarm of tiny plaque monsters that floated around him like dark, menacing clouds. The plaque monsters were covered in goo and had sharp, jagged teeth that looked ready to attack. Sharky took a deep breath and stepped forward, his special toothbrush in hand. "We're not afraid of you, Cavity King. We're here to stop your sugary schemes and clean up the ocean." The Cavity King laughed. "We'll see about that. My plaque monsters will make sure you don't get any closer." As the plaque monsters charged at them, Sharky quickly sprang into action. He brandished his toothbrush, scrubbing away at the nearest plaque monsters with swift, determined strokes. The bristles of the toothbrush glowed with a bright, minty light that seemed to weaken the plaque monsters. Miss Octopus used her 8 arms to help fend off the plaque monsters, swiping them away and keeping them at bay. Finny darted around, trying to outmaneuver the creatures and create openings for Sharky. Whaley used his immense size and strength to shield the group from the worst of the attacks. Despite their best efforts, the plaque monsters seemed endless, emerging from the shadows and surrounding them. Sharky knew they needed a different strategy to overcome this challenge. "Miss Octopus, can you create a diversion?" Sharky called out. We need to buy some time to figure out how to deal with these plaque monsters. Miss Octopus nodded and began waving her arms in complex patterns, creating a flurry of bubbles and swirling colors. The plaque monsters, curious and confused, were drawn towards the diversion, giving Sharky and his friends a chance to regroup. With the monsters distracted, Sharky focused on finding a way to reach the Cavity King. He noticed a series of levers and switches along the walls of the chamber, all covered in sticky syrup. Look over there. Sharky pointed. Those levers might control some of the traps. If we can activate them, we might be able to get closer to the Cavity King. Finny swam over to one of the levers and gave it a tentative push. As the lever moved, a section of the floor began to shift, revealing a hidden path through the gooey mess. Great job, Finny. Sharky called out. Let's use this path to get closer. The group carefully made their way along the newly revealed path, avoiding the remaining plaque monsters. The hidden path led them to a series of platforms suspended over a large pit filled with bubbling syrup. We need to cross these platforms to reach the Cavity King, Sharky said, looking at the precarious pathway ahead. Be careful. One wrong step and we might fall into that goo. Miss Octopus extended her arms to help balance the platforms, while Whaley used his strength to steady the path. Finny, agile and quick, led the way, guiding everyone safely across. As they reached the final platform, they found themselves directly in front of the Cavity King's throne. The Cavity King glared at them, his eyes flashing with anger. You're persistent. I'll give you that, he sneered. But you're too late. My sugary invasion has already begun to spread. The ocean is mine. Sharky stood tall and firm. Not if we can help it. We're going to stop your plans and clean up the ocean. With a determined look, Sharky prepared for the final confrontation. He knew that defeating the Cavity King would require not only bravery but also clever thinking and teamwork. The fate of the ocean depended on their success. Chapter 4. The Battle with the Cavity King. The final confrontation was upon them. Sharky, Miss Octopus, Finny, and Whaley stood in front of the Cavity King, who sat on his throne with a wicked grin. The dark, sticky chamber was filled with the sounds of bubbling syrup and the faint echoes of the Cavity King's sinister laughter. You've made it this far, but you won't be able to stop me, the Cavity King declared, his voice echoing off the sticky walls. My sugary traps are unbeatable, and soon, the entire ocean will be mine. Sharky took a deep breath, steadying himself. We're not giving up. We're going to clean up this mess and put an end to your schemes. The Cavity King raised his hand, and the plaque monsters, which had been recharging in the shadows, surged forward once more. The air crackled with tension as the monsters charged at Sharky and his friends. Miss Octopus sprang into action, using her arms to create a protective barrier around the group. She swiped at the plaque monsters, pushing them back and giving Sharky and Finny a chance to focus on the Cavity King. Finny, can you distract the Cavity King while I get closer? Sharky asked. Got it. Finny darted towards the Cavity King, swimming in fast, unpredictable patterns. The Cavity King tried to focus on Finny, but the little fish was too quick, making it difficult for him to get a clear shot. With the Cavity King distracted, Sharky used his special toothbrush to scrub away at the plaque monsters that were still attacking. The minty bristles glowed brightly, weakening the monsters and causing them to retreat. Meanwhile, Miss Octopus used her arms to create a vortex of bubbles, which she directed towards the Cavity King. The bubbles swirled around him, making it harder for him to see and move. Whaley used his massive size to block any additional attacks from the plaque monsters, ensuring that Sharky and his friends remained safe. As the Cavity King struggled against the bubbles and the weakened plaque monsters, Sharky seized the opportunity to advance. He carefully approached the throne, his eyes locked on the Cavity King. You can't hide forever, Cavity King, Sharky shouted. It's time to end this. The Cavity King growled in frustration. You're meddling in things you don't understand. My sugary reign will continue. With a burst of energy, Sharky launched himself at the Cavity King, his toothbrush poised for action. The Cavity King retaliated by summoning a wave of syrupy goo from his throne, hoping to overwhelm Sharky and his friends. But Sharky was ready. He swung his toothbrush with precision, using it to deflect the goo and clear a path. The minty glow from the toothbrush intensified, cutting through the syrup and revealing a hidden lever behind the throne. "Look," Sharky called out. "There's a lever. It might be the key to stopping him." Miss Octopus, still using her arms to fend off the plaque monsters, pointed towards the lever. "We need to activate it." With a determined effort, Sharky swam around the throne, dodging blobs of goo and plaque monsters. He reached the lever and gave it a powerful pull. The lever clicked into place, and the entire chamber began to shake. The Cavity King's throne creaked and groaned as it was lifted from its base. The syrupy goo around the chamber started to drain away, revealing clean, fresh water beneath. The plaque monsters, now exposed to the clean water, dissolved and vanished. "No!" the Cavity King shouted, his voice filled with disbelief. "This can't be happening." As the goo drained away, the Cavity King's powers weakened. He struggled to maintain his form as the fresh water cleansed the chamber. With one final, defiant roar, the Cavity King dissolved into a cloud of harmless bubbles, leaving behind only a small pile of candy wrappers. Sharky and his friends breathed a sigh of relief. The chamber was now clean, and the ocean's waters began to clear up. The dark, sticky mess was gone, replaced by the vibrant, healthy blue of the ocean. "We did it!" Finny cheered, his fins flapping excitedly. "The Cavity King is defeated." Whaley nodded, his massive body shimmering with satisfaction. "You've done a great job, Sharky. The ocean is safe once again." Miss Octopus wrapped her arms around Sharky in a hug. "Thank you for leading us through this. We couldn't have done it without you." Sharky smiled, feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. "We did it together. And now we can get back to our normal lives, knowing that the ocean is clean and safe." With the Cavity King defeated and the ocean restored, Sharky and his friends swam back to their home, ready to celebrate their victory. The coral reefs sparkled once more, and the sea creatures rejoiced, their smiles as bright and healthy as ever. Chapter 5. A Happy Ocean. The ocean was buzzing with excitement. Word had spread quickly that the Cavity King had been defeated, and the sea creatures were eager to celebrate the return of their clean and healthy home. The once dull coral reefs were now vibrant and sparkling, and the water was clear and fresh. Sharky, Miss Octopus, Finny, and Whaley returned to their coral reef home, where a grand celebration awaited them. Brightly colored banners made of seaweed and shells decorated the reef, and schools of fish swam around, creating a dazzling display of shimmering scales. Even the normally shy sea anemones were swaying with joy, their tentacles swishing to the rhythm of the ocean currents. Sharky's friends greeted him with cheers and applause. "Sharky, you did it!" Mr. Turtle called out, his voice filled with admiration. "The ocean is clean again, thanks to you." Miss Octopus, still wearing a bright smile, joined the celebration. "We couldn't have done it without all of you. Thank you for your help." Whaley, the wise old whale, basked in the joy of the occasion. "It's wonderful to see the ocean back to its beautiful self. You've all done an incredible job." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the water, the festivities began. A giant underwater feast was laid out, with an array of delicious sea treats. There were coral cupcakes, seaweed salads, and even a special cake made from the sweetest kelp. Sharky and his friends enjoyed the feast, sharing stories of their adventure and laughter. Finny, always the entertainer, performed a lively dance that had everyone clapping and cheering. Miss Octopus played a game of hide-and-seek with the smaller sea creatures, her many arms making it easy for her to find them quickly. Sharky, surrounded by his friends, took a moment to reflect on their journey. The ocean had been restored, and everyone was happy and healthy. He looked around at the smiling faces and felt a deep sense of fulfillment. "This is amazing," Sharky said, his voice filled with gratitude. "I'm so glad we could make a difference. But remember, we have to keep taking care of our ocean and our teeth. It's the best way to ensure that we stay healthy and happy." His friends nodded in agreement. "We'll make sure to keep brushing our teeth and looking after the ocean," Mr. Turtle said. "We've learned a lot from this adventure." As the night went on, the ocean creatures gathered around a bonfire made of glowing sea kelp. They sang songs of celebration, their voices harmonizing with the gentle waves. Sharky and his friends joined in, their hearts full of joy and pride. The stars twinkled overhead, and the moon cast a silvery light over the ocean. Sharky felt a deep sense of peace as he looked up at the night sky. It had been a challenging adventure, but the outcome was worth every moment. As the celebration drew to a close, Sharky knew that their work wasn't over. He was committed to continuing his mission of promoting dental hygiene and keeping the ocean clean. With his friends by his side, he felt ready to face any challenges that might come their way. "Here's to many more adventures," Sharky said, raising his fin in a toast, "and to keeping our ocean and our teeth as bright as ever." The ocean creatures cheered and raised their own fins and tentacles in agreement. The night was filled with joy and laughter, and the bonds of friendship grew stronger with each passing moment. As the festivities wound down and the sea creatures began to drift off to sleep, Sharky looked out over the peaceful, sparkling ocean. He felt a deep sense of happiness and accomplishment, knowing that he had helped make a difference. With a final glance at the moonlit waters, Sharky swam back to his cozy coral cave, ready for a well-deserved rest. He knew that tomorrow would bring new adventures and new opportunities to help his friends and keep the ocean safe. And so, with the ocean restored to its natural beauty and the sea creatures happily reunited, Sharky settled into his cave, dreaming of the bright and healthy future that lay ahead.